Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Indeed, we are celebrating the 60th birthday of the State of Israel. What a momentous occasion. It should cause us to take pause and reflect back at the last 60 years and ask what we have accomplished as a people. Of course, there have been many materialistic accomplishments. We have built a remarkable modern society and modern state. But one does have to ask, where are we standing spiritually? Indeed, it is true that there are probably more yeshivot and Jewish education happening in Eretz Yisrael today than ever in the entire Jewish history. There is more freedom and ability to service God than ever before. But yet, we all sense that so much is left to be done, that perhaps there is a lot missing in our lives. How appropriate it is that Parashat Emor falls out coinciding this year with this parasha, with this great event, in which half of the parasha is dedicated to the celebration of all the Yomim Tovim. And here in our generation, we added on somewhat of another Yom Tov. And in the great debates that have plagued our society, not just from the early days of the state, but maybe even in particular the last few years with all of the turmoils that we have undergone, if it is appropriate to celebrate the great miracle of the State of Israel in a format that we do, is it really appropriate for us to be saying Hallel, to be thanking God for the type of life that we live today? I would argue that a careful look at the nature of Yom Tov sends us a clear and absolute message as to what our true task is. You see, a Yom Tov is very different than Shabbat. A Shabbat occurs regardless of what one may be doing. On the seventh day, no matter what you're busy doing, no matter where your mental state may be, dawn comes, the sun starts setting, we light candles, and Shabbat starts. And even if you weren't there to light the candles, Shabbat is going to start anyway, because the presence of God is greater in this world every seventh day. It is completely not dependent upon us. It is up to us to seek it out, to feel it, but it just happens. Yom Tov is very different. Eile moadei Hashem asher tikra'u otam bemoadam. These are the holidays of Hashem that you have to call them on their times, because time, as you probably well know, was handed over to us as the first great gift that God gave the Jewish people when they were notified that they are going to be a free people. HaChodesh hazeh lachem rosh chodashim. We were given the power of establishing the dateline when a new month begins. It requires testimony. It requires witnesses to come to the great court in Yerushalayim. And it is only when the great court in Yerushalayim declares the new month that the new month begins. Hence, the actual timeline in which Pesach, Shavuot, or Sukkot comes around is completely dependent upon us. So we are told that we have to invite God into our lives. This is not axiomatic like Shabbat. God is going to have a greater presence in our lives when we set the time and invite Him in. Thus, perhaps this is the key message for us as we celebrate this momentous 60th birthday. God gave us an unbelievable gift. He allowed us to come back home and to build a sovereign state and to free our people of so many centuries of exile. The task now in our hands is to invite God in. We built the home. Now let us make sure that there is a place for God in this home. First and foremost, by embracing every single Jew that lives in this holy land, welcoming them for who they are and what they are, and trying to enhance their experience, their ability to sense the presence of God. Because wherever you turn in this land, just by stepping on the ground, You are fulfilling another commandment of God. You are sensing the sanctity of the land. And particularly on this year, as we celebrate 60, we are blessed with the ability to grab a fruit off the tree, take a bite, and infuse our entire body with holiness, as Kedushat Shvi'it falls upon all that grows in the land. Indeed, it is time to celebrate. I believe that we have to be grateful for God for giving us the opportunity to have a home in which we are able to invite Him into. Ignoring this great gift would be a terrible act of rejecting the gifts that God has given us. A lack of basic appreciation. But our celebration needs to be focused on our great task up ahead, to infuse every aspect of our lives with a sense of sanctity, with a deep appreciation for the merit of living in a holy land, of eating holy fruit, and living with a holy people. May God bless us with a birthday that is truly filled of spiritual rejuvenation. And may this great country learn to provide the proper place in the center of our hearts. V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham. We have built the form of the mikdash. The case, the shell, is now constructed. It is now up to us to build the proper kelim in order for Hashem to reside amongst us. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.